Okay, hello, here we are. I've pressed record.
Hello.
Anything could happen right now. Did you bring any cheese with you, Nat?
No, no cheese.
No cheese.
Oh
Craig?
no, that's a
No,
disappointment.
and I've not prepared a session of what's in Craig's hand, or so
No.
I've got
I've
nothing
you
interesting
got
to show
nothing.
either.
I've
No.
got have a little reindeer in my hand. There we
Oh,
go. Sorry. Okay. That one's gone.
had a little reindeer.
No, that was since we've had a round of Craig, what's in your hand? Maybe next
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Maybe next time.
maybe.
Anyway, so here we are. It's our first recording sesh of the year, and we've got the lovely Nat with us. Hello,
Hello.
Nat. Thank you for joining us. So, uh, we threw the invitation open. Anyone who's got nothing better to do on a Sunday evening. Clearly, everyone else has got very exciting lives, or
Clearly.
or in a like Sunday evening coma of comfort food and
We
I don't
like
know,
to
call the
start the
midwife.
podcast by insulting the people that have been giving up their time to join us. And what loser have we got on this week? Right. Thank you very much for your
Your
precious
regular
time.
losers are Craig and Cheryl.
I'm an
No.
extra special loser.
Yeah, oh, you are extra special. It's lovely. Thank you very much for joining us. So normally we have a kind of a theme, like, we've had data protection and AI and board games and gaming and all that kind of stuff. And we thought when we recorded the Christmas one, we thought, oh, let's do one in January about New Year's. Well, actually, it's the 11th of January when we're recording this. So we've kind of already made resolutions and ditched resolutions. So we can talk about what our hopes are for the coming year, or whether we even make plans for the year, as far as home ed's concerned. But and we could also kind of do a look back. How was 2025 for you, home ed wise? Any lessons learnt? But also because we asked on the HEFA group, did anyone have any questions for admin? I have some questions as well. So we might get to those too. So why don't we start with Craig? How was your home ed year 2025?
It was fine. Next. No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
it was it was great. And I say that, with all recognition that some of it was awful, but that's life, I think, isn't it? You
Hmm,
don't have a brilliant year in your life normally. Stuff does go wrong and stuff does go right. Hopefully you get the better balance, but I don't. We had some brilliant times, but
hmm,
you know, sometimes those brilliant times are a struggle in themselves. We went on lovely holidays, but also, we struggle with going away and
yeah.
things like that. And so, it's mixed, isn't it? And I
Hmm,
think it's appreciating I do try and tell people, you're not looking for perfection. You're not looking for things to be brilliant and perfect all the time. You get bits of that, and that's
yeah.
life. And you deal with it as best you can. And I think for me, it's finding, and like I did last year, you learn more about yourself, more about your child, and how you all operate together, don't you? As the years go
Hmm,
on, and I think you gain those coping strategies, and I think it was just more of that last year. Is recognizing more things that you need to do at certain points to avoid things, maybe going off a cliff a little bit, and
did you have any aha moments where you're like, oh God, I wish I'd realised that earlier on?
um. I don't think so. I think it is more. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing more of how I need um, to decompress and
Hmm.
re-regulate myself after social situations and after holidays and stuff. And I'm seeing that more in my child now as well, and recognizing it more for that rather than
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
just seeming to blend into other stuff. Um, as she's getting older, and I think, yeah, after this, and I think it's more maybe planning for that now. Like, okay,
Mm.
after that holiday, or actually, we're looking at booking a holiday now. And from our experience last year, I've said to my wife, yeah, your namesake, at my house, we need to not pack as much in because she's already got a list of stuff that she wants to do. Bless her, because she loves to do all of the stuff when we go away. And I said, well, look, we can't cram it in. So we decided to extend the holiday so we've got some time to not cram it all in. So, you know, that was a good thing that we kind of learned and kind of worked on, I think, because
the thing with your homemade situation is that it's completely bound up with just family, isn't it? Because you never have done anything differently.
No.
So Craig, Craig's always started from there, just and then school was never really a thing. Whereas I think for other people who have been in that school situation, you know, it's kind of like, well, the first year of home ed is just like, oh my God. And then the second year is, I think I might be getting the hang of it. And the third year is like, no, I'm not. And then the fourth year, you know, and there's these different years as you progress. And what I've been noticing a lot amongst people on the group is the shift. Not so much, I wouldn't say it's around January time as well at all, is it? The new year. Like, when does New Year start if you are someone who has ever had their kid in school? September, isn't it? That's the time where I still get this tug of, I need to do something new in September. January, I'm just like, oh, do you know what? I just carry on doing what I'm doing, you know, and maybe do less of stuff that, you know, it's a different, and I don't have that kind of energy. But I think what I've noticed is that people who, the shift from primary, my child should be at primary school, to my child would be at secondary school, that is the bit where you kind of go, oh, I knew what I was doing. Now we've got this whole new ball game. But actually, you haven't. It's just another period of you having to reinvent everything because you're doing it differently from everybody else, you know. So we are, I think we are, so we're in year 3 of this. And I would say, last year was better than the year before. And by better, I mean felt a bit more like we have a rhythm, kind of know what we're doing. You're
in your zone now.
We're in the zone. He knows what he's doing. I feel very secure. I mean, as a family, we talk all the time about, well, how's it going? How's it going? But I don't feel like I'm particularly bothered what other people think, you know. That's quite a nice point to get to. And so I've got a teenager. He is just off on a journey. It's very exciting. So this year I'm actually really excited about.
He's doing his doctorate now, isn't he? Like, every time I talk to him, he's doing something amazing.
He's just extraordinary. He's got such fantastic like well-being, such a fantastic mindset. You know, and he's just loving life. And I'm really excited. He's excited. He's like, you know, he's excited to go to bed because he's excited for the next day. But the next day is probably exactly the same as the day before. It's not like there's some big thing. It's just excited for life, which is lovely, isn't it? And I'm like, oh my God, and
if
that's all he ever gets out of home, which obviously it won't be, but you know, that's a win for me.
I know.
That's it, isn't it?
It's
enjoy
massive,
your life.
It's really good. So that's the thing. So I'm just kind of like, I feel good, and I feel really good about this year because I think as a family we're all together in the zone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Nat, don't burst our bubble here. Tell me you had a good one. And it's getting better.
Yeah, well, I think we had a fairly good year last year. As Craig says, there are ups and downs, really, aren't there? And I think something that I keep relearning is that regardless of how well you think it's going, something will come and give you a bit of a wobble. I have now got a child that would be in secondary school, so I did then have that, oh, am I supposed to change? And we haven't really changed what we're doing. A lot of what we do together, and then I let the children sort of take it in whatever way kind of suits them. So how one person might take something in one direction, one will take it another, and just that's fine.
So how many are you home edding? Because we've just got the one each.
3.
Oh,
so I've got one who would be year 1 now. I'm having to think about this. I was asked about this at an appointment today, and I had no idea where they would be in.
Well, they're this age, this age, and this age.
Yeah, they actually
just
are
give us their
spread out.
age.
So one would be sort of mid-primary, and one would
Yeah.
be in secondary, and one would be right at the lower end of primary.
Mm.
So they're all spread
Wow.
out.
Well, you're just trying to get all the experiences all at once there, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And I had one go to school and the other two not go to school, which whole other kettle of fish as well.
So basically, you are the one-stop shop for all the questions people ever have on
I was going to
group.
say, we could just go now, couldn't we? You
I
know, you've got
know.
it covered.
It's like, yeah, I just go very kind of quiet if anyone says, "How do you handle more than one child?" I'm like, "Oh, that's not a me question."
Do you know what? That's something I've always just said. I don't know how people do it. I struggle with learning stuff on my own.
I
Yeah.
just see it as parenting, really.
Yeah.
It's the same as parenting 3 children. They were always.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't know how people do that either. Same thing. I don't. You know, we regularly have other kids, you know, to look after for you know varying amounts of time. But I can't imagine doing that full time. Like, especially I think where you've got, you know, additional needs for some of them, and I just can't see how you would satisfy that.
Well,
I can imagine it would be a lot harder.
I think like Nat said, it's parenting,
get on with
isn't
it,
it?
don't you?
You just
Yeah.
get on with it. It's like, you know, and
Hats
you
off
get
to
on with it and you learn how to do it. And I think the thing is, that's the thing. If you see home ed as a part of parenting,
Yeah.
then you're winning. If it's kind of like, I've got to parent in a particular way, but now I've got to layer in home ed and have a different relationship with my children while I'm doing that than I do when I'm, you know, God, that's
It's a really good point, actually. I've not really thought about it like that, but it's like home ed isn't really a thing we do at all. It's just our life. And,
Yeah.
you know, we go to different classes and stuff, but it's stuff that we would be doing that we you know, it's not we're doing it because of home ed. We do it because, you know, she enjoys it and she's getting something from it. It's not let's do the learning now kind of thing. So
Yeah. So, okay, so cool. So how about this coming year? Is there anything you are going to let go of? You're like, not doing that anymore. In as far as like the way that you do, the way that you parent and home ed and things that you've tried, and you're just like, nah, we're not doing that anymore.
As I said, you know, we've changed. Maybe we're looking at changing the way we do, you know, breaks away so that, you know, we're not as burnt out. You know, I said I just go along with it, even though it burns me out. But like, you know, my daughter can't do that. She melts down, and she's you know. So we've changed that. So I think we're letting go of the expectation that we can, you know, pack everything into a week's break. Which I think helps everybody. You know, there's not the expectation that we'll do everything, and there's also not the, you know, the pressure to do that. It's not quite along the lines of what you said, but my daughter decided to give up one of her classes that we've been doing for a few years.
Right, yeah.
So that was quite nice, really, because it was.
Did you not like it?
It wasn't my favourite, but it's not. No, it was a good class, but I think she'd reached the point where she wasn't really.
So I'd love to know, how did that come about? Did she say,
oh, every time it renews, I just, you know, the term, it's renewed for a term.
Yeah.
And I always just say, whenever any of them renew, you know, even if I think she's really enjoying it, I offer, you know, do you want to carry on with this class? You know, and we're in a privileged position where we can afford to keep them going, obviously. And not that we do tons, but let's say this is one, and this was very cheap. It was subsidised by the council. And so it was very cheap. It wasn't really the monetary thing. It was, but she got on varying degrees with it, and I just think she had enough. And so we stopped that.
And sometimes your kids have enough after one time. You know,
oh, absolutely,
I mean, I remember my son going to some drama thing once, and you know, I'm really into the whole drama thing, so I was like, oh, yeah, excellent. And I said, what did you think? He's like, oh, yeah, no, it was really good. And then the opportunity came up to do it again, and he was like, he did a day of it, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm done now. I'm done. I'm like, oh, it's a week? Like, I wish I Okay, but now I really love it because he'll just be like, I gave it a try. No, I'm okay with not going back. Once was enough, thanks. That's quite an interesting thing for me. This whole thing of like, I'm going to take up a hobby for a day, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done with that hobby now. It scratched the itch and it's gone. No, it's
Well, that's
no,
it.
scratch the
You
itch.
know, and I think that's a really healthy life lesson as well, isn't it? Of, things you don't have to do.
Yeah,
Why do them if they're not bringing you joy?
yeah,
If it's
I
not, there's
know.
no compulsion like work or,
Yeah.
a medical thing or something. If you haven't got to do it, don't do it if you don't want
Yeah,
to.
no, it was really nice. Yeah, so
It's
that's been
almost a
quite,
consent
yeah.
issue, isn't it? It's almost
It
a
is
consent
I'm
lesson.
big on consent and giving him the choice. In fact, actually now he will tell me when I forget to do it. It's like, you didn't ask me, you didn't mention to me before. You just said that we were going to go there. I'm like, oh yeah, forgot. So it's like, I've got two people now I've got to check before I put anything in the diary. But yeah, so I think I think, have we given up anything this year? Are we giving anything up? No, I don't think
You're
we
just
have.
coasting along lovely, and you're fine,
We're
and
just, yeah, we're just bobbing along down the stream, I think. I don't think, I think we've kind of given up having plans. Um, I think this year, because we had a
what?
big year, last year was a big year with a lot of big travel and stuff, and that was a big adventure. And I think this year we're just not doing anything big. We're just pootling along. That's kind of our plan.
As far as you know, yeah, that's the
I
plan,
don't
isn't it?
know.
You
Yeah,
never know. The
yeah,
year is
we'll
young.
see. But yeah,
So,
I know. Well, he might suddenly just go, I want to do this. But I think we're quite getting a lot out of just taking it a day at a time. So that's quite nice. How about you, Nat? Anything that you're getting rid of or taking on for the year?
Not that I can think of, honestly. Um, we have been basically just sort of bobbing along and taking it a day at a time anyway. So, um, just more of that because that's what works. We tried it the other way. We tried doing lots of
Mm.
plans and we tried doing lots of schedules, and we all just ended up sitting in a corner crying and shouting at each other. So
Oh, well, it's
yeah,
nice that you could share that experience together.
yeah, we were all miserable. So,
Yeah.
so we're just going to continue with the taking it a day at a
Yeah.
time and see where it goes.
Oh, nice. So what I like about what I'm hearing is that I don't think there's anything along the lines of this is the year where we're going to. No, I don't get that from anyone. I think that suits me fine as well. Yeah, cool. Right. Well, so we haven't even broken any resolutions because we didn't have any. So that's pretty awesome.
no,
Um,
that's the best way. If you haven't got them,
Yeah.
they can't be broken, can they? So just don't disappoint yourself. Just keep
um,
eating and
Okay, right. I'm going to shift to our
keep
questions
on.
now because we've done the New Year reflection.
Yeah.
There are some questions here. So, how about we start off with one of the first questions we got was, what do you do in those moments when it feels like it's just not working? So, do you get moments where it feels like it's not working?
Mm.
Do you?
Mm.
Let's hear. Tell me,
I mean,
Craig.
I
Tell
keep
me more.
starting off all of these chats, so let's go to Nat first. People are
The
sick of my lovely voice, so let's
the
hear from
gun
someone else to
have you
start.
got one? Have you got a
I mean,
ooh yes?
I, I think we all have moments where we just think it's not working for whatever
Hmm.
reason. Usually it's because we've allowed ourselves to listen to those
Mm.
bits that are so ingrained in us where this needs to be done and this is
Mhm.
the expectation and then we put too much pressure on ourselves and go,
Yeah.
we're not doing enough, it's not working. Um I tend to I'm not sure that this is the best approach, but when it's not working, we tend to just take a moment of allowing it to sort of to not do anything. Allow it to not work. Don't do anything. Don't try and jump in and fix it.
Yeah.
And take a breath
Mm.
and relax and
Mm.
then sort of reset. That's the kind of the only way, because if you just stress yourself out and try and jump into it, everyone just ends up again miserable because you're just
Yeah,
putting too
yeah.
much pressure on yourselves.
It's
So
it's a
when
really
it
good
feels like
point,
it's
that.
not working, reframe your mind.
Yeah.
I'm also very good at just chatting things through with my husband. If I have a day where I feel like, we've not done anything. I can't see how this is going to continue in this way. I'll talk to him and he'll go, but so you have done something then. You did this and you did this and you did this. And I go, yeah, okay. And it just reminds me that sometimes you just need to reframe your
that's it, isn't it?
Well, you're
Sometimes
in the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you don't have someone to be that dispassionate person, so who could just step back and observe everything and go, actually,
insulting her husband now as well, dispassionate. Might be very passionate.
Not lacking in passion, dispassionate. Oh, Craig, don't put words in my mouth. I'm going
just
to say that you
can, holding up a mirror.
you can cultivate that in yourself. I think that's something that I've had to do for other reasons, for like professional stuff. I have to things go wrong all the time with my day work. I have to, it's just like it's always going to go wrong. It involves children. It's always going to go wrong, and I have to in the moment kind of go, that's interesting. Ooh, interesting that happened like that. Oh, interesting. So I have kind of got that, but I have also benefited from kind of, am I being crazy? This doesn't seem to be working. And hearing it back from someone else going, yeah, actually, I think you were doing better than you thought you were. That kind of thing. So it's useful having another person who wasn't in that.
If you haven't got that though, I always think some of this is relative as well. I think in terms of a lot of the time, this is a day thing. There's a day that you can kind of say that day was pretty rubbish. Nothing happened. Didn't do anything. Didn't go out. We couldn't get out because of X, Y, and Z. Didn't want to really do anything. Actually, if you frame it in terms of that's one day, so who cares? It's a day. The next day
it's a bit like well, it's always parenting, isn't it? When you were first feeding your little ones, it was quite easy to get quite hung up about, they're not eating, or they're only eating cheese, or that And I remember someone saying then, it's like, well, don't look at one meal. Look at over the course of a week. How much are they eating of different things? Is it cheese 3 meals a day and nothing else for a week? Maybe, and I think that's a similar thing of like in that moment. Yeah, that's a really rubbish moment. Yes, it is. And today was rubbish, mostly rubbish. And that's okay, because over the month we've had some banger days, some really good days. But I would also wave a flag for bad days, because I think bad days, what looks like a bad day, that is just like, well, we didn't do what we were going to plan to do. We just stayed at home. We just hung out. Yeah. People got a bit miserable with each other. You lived life for a day.
That's it, isn't it? And it's the value in that.
Well, yeah. And then sometimes that you were saying about, you just let it unravel. Me and my son, and actually me and my partner, we kind of just go, whoa, hang on, this isn't working. And then we have a conversation about it, or we just go, right, let's get out. Even though it's raining, we're going to walk around the block and kind of reboot and try and work out, like, okay, this isn't working. Like we've talked about with board games, you don't have to finish a board game. We start a board game, we're not having fun.
You don't have to play by the official rules. You don't have to
just pack it up. Don't do it. Exactly. It's all right. You are allowed to just say, this isn't working. I'm bored with this.
Well, it's like a book as well. I say to people, like, if you're not enjoying that book, why are you still reading it? Just put it down and get a different one. Don't struggle through it. It's the same, isn't it? And it's just as you say, just like it's a bad day. Like, actually, let's turn it into, if we can. You can't always. Let's turn it into a self-care thing. Okay, what can we do to make ourselves feel better?
Yeah.
What can I do if my child's happy just doing whatever, which isn't what I wanted them to do or planned for them to do, but they're actually content doing that and they don't want to do anything else today. What can I do for myself? What would make me feel better? And then do some of that. And I think, obviously if that went on for months every day, then that might be an issue that you need to intervene with. But I can't, aside from some serious issues going on, that doesn't last that long.
No, but in the moment, it does feel like a long time.
Well, and that's it, isn't it? It's like when you're worrying about someone, time can seem to slow down so much. Yes. And, it's like every second is an hour when you're waiting for someone to text you or you're trying to get home from somewhere and time's, going on so slowly, isn't it? When you're panicking and you're worried. And I think that's why then the self-care helps, because it helps relax you, and you don't focus so much on that other stuff.
Go and do something wholesome, I think, is the answer.
Oh, yeah, paint your white picket fence, yeah.
Do you love this? I made my own tofu yesterday.
I made my own bread the other day.
You did what? Made your own bed?
Bread.
Oh, bread.
I could make my bed, but I'm not going to boast about that on a podcast, am I? Talk about my sheets on another program. Yeah.
That's nice.
Talk about the sheets when you're recording those EHE guidelines, okay?
Between the sheets with Craig. Sheets of paper. Oh. Damn. Yes. Oh God, I got a bit distracted there. Yes. No. I'm the wholesome one. This is the thing, and apparently I live on the little house on the prairie, and this kind of shush. So I do wholesome stuff. I don't know quite why I got onto that.
We were answering the question, what do you do when it all goes wrong?
Yes. Well, basically, like, go off and do something. Do something for yourself, so that at least the day was a success for you. You know, But I think they're talking to the wrong person for all three of us, because we just don't sound like people who make these grand plans and then are like, but it's not working.
Well, no, but like I'd say my wife is more susceptible to this than I am, but I do still have occasional days throughout the year, and there's probably only 3 or 4 where I think that, like, sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes when we're going out and doing stuff that we've planned, it's stressful and hard work. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, days where it's like, I've given so many options, which can also be a problem, I know. And then I'll try and limit them, and then that doesn't work either. But, I've got all of these things that we could do on a day where we didn't have any classes, etc. And nothing hits, nothing wants to happen, So I do have those days, and I do normally go with it. But sometimes they do get to me, and I'm like, really? And I think, again, that then goes back to, like, am I doing that because... Partly I feel guilty that I've not done anything, but actually if that's what she needs on that day, because she's had a stressful week the week before or whatever, or the day before, then that's fine. Is it more about me and what I'm feeling and the expectations I'm putting on myself? And it's that reframing, I think, is the best thing. If you are, to answer that question, reframe it. Don't stress about it.
Okay, I think we've dealt with stress. That's awesome. Thank you. So why don't we talk about amazing home ed? So somebody asked quite specifically, what are 5 things? We're not each going to come up with 5. We'll try and go 5 between us. But what are 5 things you wish people knew about how amazing home ed can be? And I think the backdrop for that question is this kind of, when I have to explain it to friends and family, or even if you're really sure in your gut that this is the right thing to do, it's kind of like you don't know. There's quite a lot of trust going on here, that it is going to be good. So, I guess, I don't know. I mean, there's so much of this, isn't there? We've had other podcasts where we've talked about, like, what to do if you're worried about what other people think. But let's say you haven't listened to that podcast and you do want 5 things that you could tell people about, what? This is not a escape route, this is a going into something positive, because these 5 amazing things might happen. So can you think of something amazing about home ed, how it can be amazing? And we'll see if we can get to 5. And I'm going to start with me. Okay, so I'm going to go with me first. So something that is amazing about home ed, I think, is the effect it can have on your family in terms of relationships. I think that definitely is huge. It's absolutely huge. So the relationship that my son has with his dad, and with me, but he sees a load more of both of us than he would otherwise. And so we have a lot of time to have conversations and to deal with stuff in the moment, and things never build up to some big massive explosion, like, where the hell did that come from? Because you can kind of see things bubbling, and I feel like we have got some really good connection now between us, and not just for me, and with both parents, I think he's got such a great bond. And collectively, as a little group, we feel very tight. And I don't know. I do not think that would have happened if I'd been at work and he'd been at work and he'd been at school, and then he'd come back knackered and got to do your homework, and then got this, you got that, and then catch up with everything at the weekend, and then off we go for 12 weeks. And then we have 2 weeks off, and then we do it all again. So that is, I almost feel like kind of, I don't want to tell people that, because I feel kind of bad that we get it and they don't. So yeah, that's my number one. How about you? Who wants to go next? Give me a little wave.
Can I go next? So
Yes.
mine leads like pretty much directly on from yours. It's kind of more of an addition to yours, really. But as soon as we're trying to get to the ridiculously high number of 5 member that asked us that question, not ridiculous, really. We could go on for ages, couldn't we? I'll add it on as a separate one. Is that, because of all that time spent, not because of it, but we get so many more experiences as a family than we would have done otherwise. We've been to so many places and done so many things that we wouldn't have had time for if we weren't home editing. Not the resources or the impetus to do it, but actually just the time to fit it all in. We just wouldn't have had that. Individually we do stuff, but especially as a family unit, the things that we can manage to do together with just maybe one of us taking a day off work, so we both work part-time, here and there, but just amazing things that we've got those memories now for life. And I think that's what childhood is about. I think, to me, is building those warm, nice memories as much as you can, and we've had a lot of opportunity to do that.
It's like an endless summer holiday. So however your summer holidays hit you, if you hate them, if you're like, oh my God, I got 6 weeks, what am I going to do? And then yeah, I don't know that home ed is for you. But if you're kind of like, oh great, we've got 6 weeks, and but we'll use the first week just hang out, and then we'll do this and we'll do that, then you're going to love it, because it's constant. It's constant time away from school, because you're not at school. So you can go, oh, there's no panic. So I'm going to steal number 3 and say the amazing thing is there's less panic and time pressure. So it's kind of building on yours. It's like, we don't.
It's nice and organic, this, everybody.
It is. I know, it's great. It's
We
beautiful,
didn't
isn't it?
plan it or anything.
No, God, it would be awful if we did.
Flowing naturally.
We only set the alarm for me if I've got to be on time for something. We never set a time for him to get up. So that's a real, we so rarely have to be on time for anything. That's so amazing. Sunday evening, Sunday evening feels like Saturday evening, and it feels like Friday evening. It doesn't feel like that's the end of the weekend. It's just like, it's just another day. So that kind of panic, kind of time is finite. I still sometimes feel it slipping through my fingers a bit, because obviously he's getting older, but not in that same panicky way that I did when I was kind of like, oh, I only see him at the weekends and holidays. It was so that's amazing. That's amazing. Right, you got one yet? Or we stole all yours, Nat?
I think going back to the pressure, it's not just time pressure, but other pressures. Everything feels much more free and relaxed. You don't have to do a certain thing, not just at a certain time, but like by a certain age, at a certain stage. So you have more freedom to explore what you want to do and do it at your own pace.
Yeah.
And that is really, really important for some children who would, like, I know my eldest, for example, if she was under the pressures of school to do certain things by certain times, she just wouldn't get there. She needs to be able to do it in her own time. So to have less pressure and time constraints in that way, so that she can reach her potential, but at her own pace, she's still going to get there. She's just going to do it in her own time. And that's
wonderful. And when you said, Craig, about like you've got the opportunity to have so many more experiences, you've also got the opportunity, and again it's the freedom thing of, all I'm interested in this whole
Yeah.
is birdsong. That's it. That's it. Everything else is just like, I'm going to play games, I'm going to do that. But really, I really, really want to learn as many bird songs as possible. Right. Off you go then. If that's your thing, and you can get into it for as long or as short as you want to. And then you can leave it for a bit, and then you can go back to it later, and then 3 years later go, actually, I think I am interested in cooking. Um, and now I can do it for as long as I want and be really excited about it. And it's just so organic, so unstructured, and I think that's amazing. And I'm going to
Yeah,
take
and for the
another
joy of
one. Oh,
learning.
go on, Nat. Sorry.
No, just building on what you said, like learning for the joy of learning, what you
Yes.
want to learn, and just
Yeah.
enjoying doing it.
That's our whole philosophy is instilling a love of learning, into our child and making sure she's happy doing it. And yeah, that is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
that joy in the, being happy and eager to learn is, I think that's that. If
I
you've got
think the
that at the
joy.
end of
Yeah.
this, they can go off and do it, can't they? And they want
But
to.
also just the kind of like, I know why I'm doing these things, and I'm doing them for me. That kind of thing.
Because they're
So
interesting, because
yeah.
they're helpful,
So
because I
yeah,
want to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes my son is learning something that he's finding not fun, but he's chosen to learn it because he wants to be able to do the thing that you can do with that,
Yeah.
And I'm
It's a
like,
means
that,
to an end.
not because someone else has said you have to learn it, you know, or if you don't learn this, then blah blah blah, this will happen. It's always on the positive. I'm doing it because it's fun, or I'm doing it because I want to, and I'm doing it because I want what learning will take me to, which is really
Yeah.
lovely. So I'm going to grab the one of the benefit for yourself. So yes, there's the benefit of the time and everything, but don't you find that you are learning so much as an adult from being a home ed parent? It's like you just don't know what you're going to be doing next, or what you're going to be learning about next. And I have to be interested in what he's interested in, and so I am picking up all this stuff, and we have conversations about all kinds of things. He'll send me. We've now got into this habit now where he's on Discord and I'm on Discord, and we'll send each other links to videos. Oh, I think you might like this. He sent me a link to like four foods to avoid, and it explains the effects that they have on your cells, and very, like, it was probably like A-level biology kind of level thing. And he was like, I watched this and I thought you might find it interesting. I'm like, oh my God, I would never on purpose make you watch that. Can you imagine? Like, you will learn about, the effect inflammation
Yeah.
has on your cells' DNA. But he was like, yeah, no, I watched it. It's really interesting. So I watched it and I was like, that is really interesting. I think I might do something about that with my life. And it's really cool. It's having a little learning buddy.
That was like clickbait,
Nice.
that was. What were the bloody foods?
I'm not going to tell you. You have to pay me. No, I'll pop a link in the comments.
Yeah,
I'll put a
please.
link in the comments. It was actually, he accidentally stumbled on what I thought was a really good educational resource. But it was just a guy who is a doctor and uses studies and puts them into plain English and wanted to communicate them to people. And he's out there watching them. I was like, so yeah, that kind of thing. But I've learned a lot from him, and I think that I find myself taking more of a home ed approach to my life as well. So being a bit more kind of like, do I really want to do this? No, I don't think I do want to do this. So I'm not going to do it then. Which I have more of that attitude than I did before we started doing home ed, which is nice. Any more amazing things?
Well, I think just building on all of the other stuff, you learn about yourselves as well.
Yeah.
As a family, how you operate, how you best communicate. Again, going back to spending so much time together, you learn about each other, and I think that for as long as you're all together, that will keep you going, won't it? So, I think some of these, because this was about big wins, life changing stuff, but I think that is life changing. If you get to know your children as they're growing up,
Yeah.
you will get on better with them as adults. You will probably see more of each other and do more stuff. probably just naturally from
Yeah.
that, and unless you absolutely hate each other, obviously, and then it won't work. But
Well, then you've learned. You've
well,
learned that
exactly,
too.
yeah. You've learned, but
No.
people can always argue against these things, can't they? You know, if you, and I think the thing you need to do is stop trying to explain yourself to friends and family and just tell them that this is what's going on and it's brilliant. And if they're really genuinely interested, then tell them. But I think
Yeah.
if not, let them get on with that. You know, they've made the wrong decisions. You've made the right one. Yeah, that's what I normally say
Nice.
to people. You know,
We're going to do a service where you can dial Craig and get them to answer your friends and family's pointed
just put them
questions.
on to me.
Like,
Just put the family straight on to
Yeah, I
me.
know. And it's just like, oh, can I just put you on hold a moment?
And it's funny, isn't it, that none of my friends and family have ever said anything to me.
Well, we've had conversations about that as well. It's like, you look more like someone who might punch them than I do.
Hopefully not my friends and family don't know this, but yeah, I've never had comments from strangers that are negative.
I know. Funny that.
It is really, and I don't know if it's probably a misogyny thing as well.
Yes.
But
People feel very excited about telling women that they've made the wrong decision.
Yeah. But it's
like,
weird, isn't it?
Don't you worry your pretty little head about the education, dear. You send them off to school. You listen to me. I read something in this newspaper.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. Yes, bless them. Well, one of the things is it's also just like, you know what? I have no idea what home ed's going to be like for us, but you know, you'll see. You know, I can't tell you how amazing home ed is going to be for you. I can tell you how amazing it is for me. It's no good you telling them about all Cheryl's things that have happened to her because they might not happen to you. And you might have something completely different happen. So,
well, that's it. And I think generically, I say to people, you can follow your child's interest. You can make them love learning, you know, or help them to love learning, not make them. You get to spend so much more time together as a family and do much more stuff and get more connected than you would otherwise be able to be. Those are the kind of very generic things that you can have happen.
Yeah. Well, let's just say it's a conducive environment for certain things to happen that might not have that opportunity if you weren't doing home ed.
Yeah.
They make and just do it like that, really.
Let's all say that.
Yes, we'll say that. We could have done that, and that would have been 15 minutes of our lives we hadn't lost.
Well, they asked for 5, so
yeah, they asked for 5.
Gave them 7 or 8, didn't we?
All right, so okay, what else have we got? We got a question because all 3 of us are modmin on HEFA. Why did you want to be one? So how long have you had the power of being able to approve, disapprove,
disapprove,
approve,
here you go again.
Comment, encourage, and whatever on HEFA?
Oh, when was mine? October 23? I can't remember. 24? No, not more 24. Was it 23?
23.
I always feel like a bit of an imposter now because I very rarely dip in. I dip in and out because my life is so chaotic and I can't cope with a lot of stuff. I do respond when people tag me. I come on and give my expertise.
Well, yeah, we do.
Minimal as they are.
Blow the whistle. We're like, we've got something about data protection.
SARs and stuff, but it's or breaches, which I find the funniest to be. Not funny that they've happened to people, but I think some comments then blow them out of the. Oh, I'd report this to the Human Rights Commission. It's really not that serious, but some of them are. But that's when I.
I'll be coming up to my 2-year anniversary next month. I remember getting the call. Well, it wasn't a call. It was I think it goes along the lines of, please can I message you? Nothing bad. Yes. It's nothing bad. And like, well, I really feel it's bad.
Someone says it's nothing to worry about, isn't it?
Nothing to worry about. Like,
someone can just tell me.
Yeah. So no, that was 2 years ago. I remember I was at the bus stop with my son.
But why did you say yes?
I said yes because my son told me to. I had a conversation with him because I said, look, I've been asked to do this thing. I know that if I do it, and I explained what it was. I said, I know if I do it, I will want to spend time on it. And, you know, I work as well. And so it'll be time I'll be spending on this that I won't be spending with you. What do you think? And he was like, oh, I think it's really important that you do this, or something earnest like that. And so I said yes. You know, I asked him. I didn't ask my partner. He knew. He's like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, he knows I'm gonna do something. But I think, yeah, I was a bit kind of, I don't want to take on something that's going to take my attention away from you while we're doing home ed. But he was like, no, I think you should do that, Mum. I think he wants to be an admin as soon as he is of age.
Training him up.
Sorry?
Just training him up already.
We're training him up, yeah, I know. I sometimes ask him the odd thing, you know, especially when people are talking about their teenagers and stuff. It's like, oh, wow.
Well, it's nice to have one on hand, isn't it? To be able to,
yeah, it is. Yeah,
your own little tiny focus group.
Yeah. How about you, Nat?
I've been admin a long time. I joined the group. Yeah, I joined the group when
Are you a founding mother?
Tiny baby. Not quite, but I was admin by the early 2022.
Ooh.
So, and we only started like late 2021. So, yeah.
Wow, goodness. So why did you say yes?
Because I'm insane, maybe.
No, that's why you get asked.
That's why you
I
stay.
Get asked. That's the thing. I actually am insane. That there was a call put out for moderators, and I put my hand up.
Oh, really? Oh,
they saw something in me.
Okay, I'm going to flip the question then. Why do you stay?
Why do I stay? You know, I love what we do. I love that we make a difference to someone. Even if we just make a difference to one or two families, we're still making a difference to someone. I feel like home ed is a community. It is part of.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm part of that community. It's my community, and so I want to give to that community.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. And yeah, I do try and give more than I do, but
you're giving right now. You're giving
this
right
is
now.
true. This is true.
So, you know, you just. I think so. It's like it's finding your niche of like, you know, what can you give and what are you able to bring that maybe other people haven't got. You know. So and that's great. That's what I really love.
Well, do you know what? I blame the members for my downfall because.
Why? Hang on.
Leave it there.
Where's
leave
this
it there.
going?
No more words. No. I'll tell you what. When I joined, I could keep up. Now this is the members and the admin, so I could keep up with the admin chat, which we have behind the scenes. You know, where we're discussing maybe particularly complex issues or just who's going to deal with what and things like that. And when I joined, I could keep up with that just about, but it was fairly busy. But I could now. You can go away from it for 5 minutes and come back, and there's about 25 messages, and I can't keep up with it. I can't. I just can't. I've just resigned myself to the fact that I can't keep up with that, and so I dip in where I can. But will occasionally in the early morning when not many other people are around and I'm awake because I'm an owl. Yeah, I will go in and look at some of those pending posts and maybe do one, but. Yeah, this is. I blame the members because there's so many more of them now.
There are though.
We've hit what is it? 800 million people or something?
Yeah, we hit 80,000.
Yeah.
Last week.
Wow, that's almost the whole of the UK community, isn't it?
It's pretty full on, isn't it? And I remember when it was 40,000. That's when I started. It was 40,000.
Yeah, it was about 30 something when I joined.
Yeah. But I think So that I stay for the community side as well. And I have those moments where like sometimes I'm able to give a lot, sometimes I'm able to give a little. But as long as you give more than you take, then I think that's community, isn't it? So that would be a lovely point at which to end this podcast. But we won't. We'll end on something really mundane and, kind of like, why did we stop recording ages ago? So I'm just going to have a little check of what we've got. See if there are any other questions that were...
There was one more, wasn't there? We're not wanting to touch on that one.
What about cream eggs?
No, not that one.
What about staying calm? No, that was a joke. They said that was a joke.
Not that one, the GCSE one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, well, you were just going to say don't. But anyway, fine. I'll ask the question.
Well, I
Any
think, yeah, I will. But that was quite a quick one to end on.
Okay, it's a quick one. Okay, right. Any tips for home-ed families where a child has dereg during the GCSE years, wants to still do them, but is too burnt out to study?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
you've
sorry.
given away the punchline now,
I
though,
know, but
haven't
I'm
you?
still chuckling because of the cream egg one. That is actually a very sad and serious question because
The cream egg one.
no, stop this. I'm trying to
I'm
put
trying
my
to lighten the
serious
mood
face.
again, you know.
Right. Yes, I can well imagine that if you have got your children and they're in the GCSE year, so they're actually, by which you mean what be year 10, year 11, in some schools year 9, and they're 15, 16, and they're so close, and they're doing that, but they are getting deregged at that point for whatever reason, and they still want to do their GCSEs, but they are too burnt out to study. Okay, you give your answer and then we'll ask you a question. What's your answer?
My answer is don't do them. And I'm gonna furnish that out a tiny bit because that just sounds really flippant.
Yeah.
There's a lot in there. They want to do them. Like, one, why do they want to do them? Do they desperately want to do something that needs them, or is it just going along with everyone else? One answer is, maybe lends itself to different solutions, but too burnt out to start. If you're too burnt out, you might want to run a race. If you've broken your leg, you can't run. That is what I say to that is you can't do it, and you need to prioritize your health first above anything in life, to me. So, and I think prioritizing your mental health is really important, especially for teenagers. Well, for everyone, but teenagers are very susceptible to mental health crises and things like that. And so I think really working them through that burnout. And look, this thing of GCSE years, that's it. They're the years you do them in school.
For me, it's like, I would say, what do you mean by the GCSE years?
Exactly.
Because if you are deregged, GCSE years are the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They are the years in which you decide to take GCSEs if you decide to take them.
Yeah.
And that is like, that melts some people's heads. They're like, what what? You mean I don't have to, by law, make my child take GCSEs? And 2, you can take them any age.
And you can stagger them. And you don't have to do 10 or 11 like they do in school. You can do 3 or 4 or 5.
40. I mean, the point is, you're paying for them. You're paying for them. So you are now almost like in that adult education phase. So I know your kid is 15, 16, but in a few years' time, they would be in adult education. Okay, and adult education, you are now the customer and you are the boss, and so you're paying to study and take an exam. And then it's just a case of finding someone who's prepared to take your money, really. So who's happy to host you having an exam is actually your question. So not when can I take my GCSEs, but where can I take my GCSEs? That is the question for home editors. The when, it can be, actually once you hit 16, it can be twice a year as well. You can do the November resit period as well as the June period. November's a much better time. Do it in November, not in summer when you all want to be outside and
and it's hot and sticky and
whatever. It's not going to snow probably in November. Do it then. Get it out the way. Christmas, New Year, whee, and then you get the results before you know it. Done. So November or June, any year, but you just got to find somewhere that will take external candidates. And then there's loads of other information about how you do that. We often recommend the Home Ed exam wiki. There's loads of stuff about doing the GCSEs. But that thing, the GCSE years, that's the bit you want to hold on to and go, why am I calling it the GCSE years? Is it because my child has got their heart set on following the same timeline as their friends? And then exactly what Craig, you were saying, it's like you're weighing it up. You're like, I want to be on that timeline. However, my head is not in the right place to be able to follow on that timeline. Why am I still going to force myself to do it? Or am I going to go, do you know what? That timeline is not for me. I'm going to move to I'm going to come back later and come to that. In the meantime, I'm going to I'm going to study what I'm not too burnt out to study, which might be yoga. It might be lying on my back and looking at the clouds for a bit. It could be whatever floats your boat. I can study burnout. I might study mental health and well-being and whatever, and get myself through it, and then discover I can do a qualification in that instead. Yeah, so that's the big bit for me, was the GCSE years bit.
Yeah, that really strikes, doesn't it? And I think, learning how to be happy is the best learning of all. Just focus on that.
That's lovely. I think we're going to stop on learning to be happy. That's made me feel good about 2026. So it's been lovely having you, Nat. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, like doing this.
You're welcome back anytime you like. We'll be doing more chats, but for now, I'm just going to press stop record, and we'll say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Wow.